Most operators add vehicles too early or too late because they don't track utilization properly. Here's what happens. You're running 10 vehicles and feeling stretched. Riders are complaining about late pickups. Dispatchers are stressed. So you buy vehicle number 11, but 3 months later, you realize half your fleet sits idle during mid-morning hours while you're drowning at rush times. Or worse, you wait too long to expand, lose broker contracts to missed trips, and spend 6 months clawing back the revenue. The problem isn't whether to grow, it's when. Most operators make fleet decisions based on gut feel instead of actual capacity data. You don't know if you need another vehicle or if you need to redistrict your existing routes. Here's what we're going to cover. The 3 utilization metrics that actually predict when you need vehicle 11, how to calculate your real capacity before broker RFPs hit, and the revenue threshold that makes expansion profitable instead of just busy. First, track vehicle hours per week, not miles or trips. Miles don't tell you capacity. A vehicle that runs 40 miles in 8 hours is maxed out. A vehicle that runs 200 miles in 4 hours has room to grow. Count the hours each vehicle spends actively dispatched, from route start to route end. Not sitting in the lot. Not driving home. Active dispatch hours. Most operators we talk to discover their overworked fleet is actually running 6 hours per vehicle per day on average. That's 25% idle time before you even think about adding capacity. If your average is below 7 hours per vehicle per day, you don't need vehicle 11. You need better route planning. Second, calculate your peak hour bottlenecks, not your daily averages. NEMT demand clusters around 3 windows: morning dialysis runs, midday medical appointments, and evening pickup from facilities. Your constraint isn't total daily capacity. It's whether you can handle Tuesday at 9 a.m. when 12 members need rides to the same clinic. Run this calculation. Take your busiest day of the week. Count how many vehicles you dispatch between 8 and 10 a.m. If that number hits 90% of your total fleet, you found your expansion trigger. Not when you're running busy. When you're running out of peak hour capacity. Third, your revenue per vehicle per month needs to exceed $800 to justify expansion. Vehicle 11 costs you more than just the $50 software fee, insurance, maintenance, driver wages, fuel. Real all-in cost runs about $600 per vehicle per month for most operators. Add $200 margin and you're at $800 minimum. Here's the test. Pull your broker payments for the last 3 months. Divide total revenue by vehicle count. If you're below $800 per vehicle, adding capacity won't fix profitability. You'll just spread the same revenue across more assets. Focus on route density and member retention instead of fleet growth. We worked with an operator in Tennessee, running 12 vehicles who was convinced he needed 2 more. Utilization tracking showed his fleet averaged 6.5 hours per day. Peak hour analysis revealed his real bottleneck was driver scheduling, not vehicle capacity. Revenue per vehicle was running $720 per month. Instead of expanding, he redistricted 3 routes and boosted utilization to 7.2 hours per vehicle. Revenue jumped to $900 per vehicle within 60 days. No new purchases. 8. Track utilization first, then decide. The operators growing sustainably aren't the ones adding vehicles fastest. They're the ones adding vehicles smartest. Subscribe if you want more NEMT operations breakdowns that actually move your numbers. We post new tactics every Tuesday.